And we're live. Hey, baby.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're going to have Johnny and Andrea on.
Our brother and sister.
They're here already connected. We're doing this from Restream, so if there's any technical difficulties, please excuse us. And there's Andrea. Let me see if I can.
Hi. Am I on?
All right.
Yay!
What's up? Cool.
Yeah. So I know your dad was waiting, and there were some people waiting for our YouTube live stream.
Yeah, are we in it? Are we in there?
Are we in there?
So I know. So
Let's get the shoe.
That's good.
Are we centered?
Are we centered?
so let them know that. Damn it.
Okay, 1 second.
What time is it over there?
It's 8:33.
8:30.
There's nobody on. Or there's one person watching.
Hi.
See if your family can see it.
Yeah, we're good.
One person watching.
We have a list of questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
I'm just kidding. I forgot what the questions were. I'm down, but we thought about them.
Okay, so the reason for today's live stream is to ask Johnny and Andrea about making breaking bread with Johnny, and we were Andrex, and your guys move.
And you're
Alex not here. Maybe she'll be here by the time we talk about that.
That's perfect.
Okay, and so for the people that usually watch, I haven't been on because I have had COVID.
What?
Wait, did you guys not go live last week?
We didn't, and it feels like a month.
You had a fever.
Oh my god. But now you're both negative, so that's
Yes, that's good. Okay,
Positive people, negative results.
so I know that there's supposed to be more people watching. There's only one right now.
How do you know that? Was there like a waiting list?
Your dad had it on his TV,
Oh my goodness.
and so something has to be happening
Oh,
that
maybe it's on.
or maybe he's the only one watching.
Something's wrong.
No,
There's
no,
just
you
one
see-
person.
How do you know who's on? Can we see it on our end?
I don't think you can see it on your end.
Wait, what was that? I hear your echo.
That's all it is,
How do you know who? Oh god, no, my echo.
yeah. Okay, I guess we're good. Okay, so what did you guys have anything in mind that you wanted to talk about that you felt comfortable talking about?
Well, you invited us, so.
Okay, so Johnny, what are your plans with breaking bread with Johnny? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I really hadn't asked you in person. It's only been through text.
He set up a station to show you guys, unless you did it already.
No. But no, the purpose of creating that page was just so that I can keep my personal life and my baking life separate, because Andrea kept on saying, "Hey, you never post any pictures of me on Instagram." So I was like, all right, I'll stop posting food related things on there, and now it's just intended for us. And then the Breaking Bread with Johnny will have a lot of my bread and food, but I'll also post food on that Instagram as well.
Yeah.
The bread that you've been making looks
I made
good.
that
That's not the
Instagram. I just
reason.
wanted a separate page just to document. It's a lot easier to track, and I think it helps motivate me when I have that sort of platform in place. It's just like creating any kind of system for anything that you do in life. If you have a system and you have a platform in place, you're more likely to follow up with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whatever goal you're trying to reach. So for me, it's just trying to get better at baking bread, but it's not only about breaking bread, as the name suggests. It's
Tell them what bread means. You found out that it means.
well, bread.
What?
It means like life. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, there's different meanings to bread, but one of the meanings of bread is life. So like breaking bread to me isn't only about like the bread itself, but also like kind of taking apart life itself, or welcoming people into the conversation to either talk about different foods from different cultures or different interests. Like it's really not just about food. It's like more than that, because food is just one of the things that connects us. But there's a lot of other things, like
The experience.
what makes up your culture or our cultures or anybody's culture. You know, bread is life.
Bread is life. We should
Bread
post.
is life.
Bread is life.
Okay. He also started because of this book.
Yeah.
He wanted to. You haven't started it yet, but he wanted to challenge himself and do like every recipe, almost every recipe in this book, and kind of like
I've done 2 recipes.
track
in the
it on
book.
his Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy that book yourself, or did somebody gift it to you?
My father-in-law.
Yes.
Father.
Oh, and Carlos Sardi's here. He said Carlos already said breaking bread means Ohana.
Thank you, Carlos.
Did they put
He
breaking
bought this
bread?
on the.
Just swipe up.
He
Swipe
bought
up.
this. Was it the day? I think it was the day before we got married. We went and got shaved. We got clean cut. Since then, I haven't shaved.
No.
That's when we bought the book.
That's that.
So yeah.
And so, is there any do you plan on doing anything further than just an Instagram with the bread?
Other than no, I mean not really. The purpose of it isn't necessarily to like kind of gain popularity. I mean, I would like for people of similar interests to follow the page, sure. But it was more just for myself. With bread itself, who knows? I mean, years may pass and I end up having like a little pop-up or a food truck or
I would love that.
make bread to actually, sell. But for now, I mean, I love making bread and giving it away. Usually for every 2 loaves I bake, 1 goes towards 2
A
friends. Or,
yeah.
There you go. That's cool.
Mhm.
And so your reels were so good. I thought Alex or Andrea were making your reels because it's not easy.
No, that was all him. Like seriously, this is
They've been good.
It's a huge creative outlet for Johnny. Like yesterday we did the zucchini one. That one we did it together, but he had all the ideas. He's like, I think I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go like this, and maybe like
I'm so
and
impressed.
something else.
And it's funny because I went to go write, I love the transitions. And when I looked, somebody already wrote that. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not the only one that so
Yeah.
it's cool to see that people appreciate, and it is art. Like, even though it's a little thing, it's still it took time, it took creativity. I was going to ask something.
The last one you did took 3 days to make that
Yeah.
video. There was 40 video clips, I think.
How do
Yeah.
you,
Oh wow.
when
That's
you're
a lot,
using
yeah.
both your hands, where do you put your phone?
So
Can
I-
you show them?
I mean, we'd have to.
I've
Oh,
always
yeah,
wondered
yeah. I
this.
wanna
I've
see it, I
always
wanna see it.
wondered this.
Hold on, let me see.
There's a cabinet above where I work, and then I'll put these 2 chopsticks underneath the seating.
That's a good idea.
It suspends the phone.
Hold on.
It'll suspend the phone over the work area.
So it goes,
Carlos Sardi says you need a haircut, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
right, this is the phone. It's facing down. The chopsticks are there. That's the seasoning like that. And then he just records it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
there we. All right,
Yes.
that's how the magic happens.
Thank you, Moe, for these chopsticks. This is from our friend Moe.
Molly, my kindergarten friend.
That
Yeah,
is-
later we can. I set up a little demonstration. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's Aspen, my sourdough, and then I have some weighed out flour and water,
I'm the hand.
and that's kind of a daily routine that I go through feeding my sourdough starter to make the sourdough breads.
You feed your sourdough starter.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it's alive.
It's alive.
But going back to making the post on Instagram with the reels and stuff, I never had a lot of experience doing it. I would just kind of pick a random picture, I'll post it, and then usually I'll get some feedback on it, like my eyes are closed in that one or whatever. So Andrea definitely has helped me a lot in kind of setting up the reels sometimes and
Why did it
creating
disappear?
content. Are we still there? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with the streaming app, and then it shows
cool.
it shows you more so people can see you talking. and stuff.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Andrea's definitely helped me a lot in
Who, me?
in this process.
Thank you. Thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
Thanks for the shout.
And Andrea, sorry, I thought it was more Alex too, because she's more on the online with the coding and marketing and all that.
No, with Weird Andrix, I had a lot of experience with Instagram with that. But Reels is new for me, like maybe like a month ago. Making Reels, making videos. But yeah. No, she doesn't do anything.
And all the breads look so good. I'm not a big bread guy. Olivia loves bread.
I want all the bread.
What? You're not a bread guy?
Not.
You're a cheese guy. That's what you are.
Yeah, I love.
Such a cheese guy and a sauce guy.
Yeah, I'm a more sauce guy.
Sauce? Oh, like hot sauces?
No, like sauce, like sauce.
Explosions in your mouth. Sauce. Why do you have to make that awkward?
It was weird.
That was actually okay. No, I love bread. I love bread, Oprah.
And then, where are you guys traveling? When are you guys coming back? Where are you traveling to?
We're actually just planning our trip.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm like, man, I hope they don't do too cool stuff. I want to do more cool
person to talk to because you did your cross country road trip last year
during quarantine.
Yeah. Where did you go through? Because right now we're thinking of doing like Colorado, Utah, and then making our way down, like kind of going up and down.
So funny. So this is a good one. So I had to go Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and I couldn't go through Mississippi, and I couldn't go through Louisiana because they had a COVID checkpoint. So I had to go north. Yeah, I had to pretend like I wasn't.
You didn't have you didn't know where you were stopping at the end of the day.
No, as far as I can drive,
you can't do that. I'm like creating an Excel sheet and everything. I can't do that.
Oh no, he would call me like 20 minutes before he was getting ready to stop. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be stopping in around this city. Can you find me a hotel?"
That's exactly what happened.
Okay, so that kind of leads us. Should we finish this conversation and then?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
okay. That's how I did it with when we came out here with my mom and Alex. We kind of did like that, just like stopping. Not really know where we're stopping until the end of the day, or like a few hours before.
But do you guys have time?
Yeah, we're taking our time this time. I think we're doing it in 10 days. We're gonna do Zion, Bryce Canyon, Arch National Park, and then make our way to Rocky Mountains. Go visit Danny Hancock in Colorado.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're gonna crash on his couch.
Yeah, we're gonna stay there for 2 days. We want to I've never been to Colorado, so it'd be awesome to no, never.
What?
And I have to go. So then after Colorado, that's when it kind of gets we're gonna stop at Kansas City. I don't know what's in Kansas City. And
after Colorado, it's just a bread basket. Yeah. So Kansas, Missouri.
Until we hit Nashville.
Bread basket. What?
That's where they grow all soy, wheat, corn.
Maybe there's a place where you can.
They call it the bread basket. And that's the majority of where a lot of wheat and soy and corn are grown.
That is so funny.
Did not know that. So then we're gonna visit Frankie in Tennessee. We have to ask him though. So Frankie, if you can.
Frankie, if you're watching, can Johnny and Andrea stay over?
Well, we were in Hawaii. We had met this couple because we were at a bar, and Tennessee whiskey comes on. So I get up and I ask Andrea to dance, and it's now every time that song comes on, it's
always
we just
That's your wedding song.
So after the song, I went up to the guy and I gave him a few bucks and thanked him for singing that song, whatever. And I was saying we just got married, that was our song. And then the couple right next to the guy singing, they started talking to us and they're like, "Oh, I requested that song for my husband. We just got married yesterday." So,
yeah, we got married that was in Oahu?
In
Oahu,
yeah.
There was only 5 people there for their wedding day.
Yeah. So then we're talking to them. We get really good vibe from them. We go back to I call Andrea over. Actually, the guy gets up and whistles across the restaurant and hollers Andrea over. So Andrea goes over and we start talking to them and we go back to the bar. We're sitting down and then a few minutes pass. And then the song Perfect comes on.
Aww.
That's the song I walked down the aisle.
Yeah. So I got up and I didn't go to the guy who sang the song. I went to the guys that we were talking to. And I was like,
I
why do you
forgot
keep
about
playing
that.
all of our wedding songs? And then she was like, oh, I requested it for my husband
Yeah.
again.
The point is,
Oh, that's
we
funny.
Gosh.
and they invited us to stay at their
Yeah.
place in Tennessee. So we don't know yet if we're gonna stay with them or not.
What?
Oh wow. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
we're in
cool.
a big house. You can stay here. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I was like, I want to stay with Frankie. But okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe we could meet up for drinks.
Yeah, drinks maybe. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
So yeah, that's an option in Nashville too.
So on the way over, you go. The time change works in your favor. On the way back is kind of when like your days are shorter, but you'll be fine since you're spending more time throughout the
Oh
trip
my god, I didn't even take that
into account. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something that.
I mean, it helps that we're trying to drive like between like 5 and 8 hours a day, but really like on, less if we can, just so that we're not on the road for 10, 11 hours like what we did coming over here from Miami to California like 2.5 years ago.
The first half of the trip, I feel like it's gonna be like that, like just like 4 to 5 hours, and then after Colorado, it kind of jumps.
Yeah.
Maybe like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, I know when I was driving over, I was trying to stretch as much as I can drive during the day. I didn't want to drive at night, and the time change worked in my favor, like 1 or 2 hours every day. And it took me 3 days to get to Moab, Utah, and that's when the whole quarantine was happening, and essential workers only could stay at a hotel in Utah, and I had to say that I was an essential worker, and I was. Wink.
That's true. I can't believe you did that, Moab, Utah.
And they were like, "Oh, the police is gonna come knock on your door." Oh, Carlos already says true, but summer days are also longer, so it won't be that bad. That's also true. Yeah.
Thanks, Papi. Yes, you're right. That's true. The sun will set later.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so by you bringing up like this, because you had mentioned that you would call like my sister and say, "Oh, I'm gonna like sleep in my car tonight," or find me a hotel or whatever. So we were thinking like if you can categorize it, what percentage of your life would you say you live spontaneously, and what percentage of your life do you actually plan?
So Olivia and I will have different answers because I'm the more spontaneous person, and I think 80% of my life, maybe 85 or 90% is spontaneous.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
You know that you go to work every day. Like that's more days.
That's okay. Besides work,
but that's your whole week.
Okay.
Just like making decisions, I guess, and like making.
Yeah.
I have my long-term goals fixed, so that's planned, right? Like graduating from college, where I'm gonna be in 5 years, things like that.
But even still, I feel like that changes a lot. So
I would say 80% of my life is spontaneous. And Olivia's a planner, so what's your plan?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at being okay with just like I'm very go with the flow. Like once we're on vacation, like I don't care what we do, I don't care what we eat. Like I don't need to plan day by day like that. Like once we're there. But like
that's true. We don't plan that. We don't plan what we're good. Even in Costa Rica for the 2 weeks.
For our honeymoon, that people usually have like, okay, we're gonna do it. Like looking back. We should have done more research because when we came back, we're like, oh man, we missed this, we missed that, but like it's
with us,
and we love it, and we know we're gonna be back there anyways.
Yeah.
But it's not like we went to like Africa. We're like, oh, we didn't do this. Like Africa's a trek. It takes,
We planned 1 or 2 things for every day, and we didn't feel like we missed out on anything. Like we couldn't get to it, and we took our time with everything. And we also like taking our time and like enjoying what we're doing. So we can spend more time at the park. We don't have to leave at 3:00 to make it to the sunset hike. We
made like reservations for dinner one time, and we canceled them because I'm like, I don't feel like going to dinner anymore. And I'm like, but obviously like being with Kevin has definitely made me more spontaneous because it's always like, okay, let's go kayaking. I'm like, okay, but we didn't plan this.
But
And
you still go, like you still say yes and you do it.
yeah, I have to. Like
It gives you more time to explore the less beaten path or the
Yeah.
path less traveled and stuff
Our
like that.
trip to Hawaii was like, because we've traveled a lot, obviously before we went to Hawaii, but our first trip together as husband and wife, we learned a lot about how we want to plan like future vacations.
Mhm.
So it's important to like do research on where it is you're going, because there are things that you're gonna have to book months in advance
I guess
if
it
you
depends.
want to. If you want to, and if you
Yes.
just go in blindly and you show
But you
up and you're
believe
like,
it.
"Hey, I want to go kayaking," and they're like, "Yeah, okay," or even like we showed up to a restaurant and we're like, "Hey, table for two," and they're like, "Oh, we're booked through July," and this is at our
Wow.
restaurant.
Crazy, yeah.
But at the same time, like we also
That
understand
mainly
that
happened-
balance.
Sorry, finish your thought.
That we like having that free time that nothing is planned, because we like to ask a lot of the locals. Like if we're at a restaurant, we'll start talking to our server and ask like, hey, what do you recommend? You know, where should we go? What bars,
Mhm.
restaurants, what things to do? And a lot of times they'll tell you things that isn't the first thing that pops up when you Google what to do in Maui, you know?
So it was really cool to try like a lot of the local restaurants, and we tried a few breweries too.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in Oahu, we were having drinks, and this girl thought we were locals there, and I was like, "Oh my god, what an honor! You thought I was a local here." It's like, thanks.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Because then she started giving us like all these like ideas of where to go next and where to eat, and we ate so good that day.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to invite her, like, come join us, but she was working.
Well, so we ended up doing that on our honeymoon. We met a couple. We ate at the same restaurant, like for lunch, but we didn't talk to each other. Then we saw each other on a trail, and the husband was like, "Hey, weren't you guys eating at this restaurant earlier?" And we're like, "Yes." And so we're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And then the next day we go to, we basically did the same.
We
trip.
followed each other.
We followed each other, and so like it was our last night, like being in the same like schedule. So we had dinner with them, and it was just really cool to spend time with people that. And if it was our honeymoon, but I'm like, what are we gonna say? Oh no, we're not hanging out with anybody else. Like it's just us. And like I feel like that's one of the things that we love so much about traveling is meeting new people and just like exploring things, and it's awesome.
Yeah, they were fun people. And then there was another day too where we met the bartender of the hotel we were staying at, and we ended up going to his house with the other locals that live in town.
We had like a real locals night.
Yeah.
Like they were drinking cacique.
Yes.
Which is like it's a Costa Rican alcohol. It's not rum, it's not vodka, it's like its own thing. And they were drinking it, and we hadn't heard about, like, we had been to Costa Rica before. We were here already for a week and a half, and we had never heard about it. So we just had like a very locals night. Like we went to the little store down the street and like grabbed a bunch of like frozen pizza and chips. And I'm like,
that was fun.
This is like it's cool when you really live
like a local.
Like the locals.
And the local chips that they have too, which are completely different than what we have, like the Doritos and all that. They have whatever brand they use in Costa Rica and what they're used to. And that's what we like doing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And that was spontaneous. We couldn't have planned that. We left the night open to whatever we felt like doing at that time.
I think that's like important if you can really see a part of the culture that maybe they don't want you to see, or they don't really advertise, because a lot of times when you travel places, you're kind of funneled into a system that they kind of want you to see. You know, there's hot spots that they're gonna want you to go, and it's all these places on like the outskirts of town that, you know, not so many people speak about, or you don't have access to, or something like that. That's where I don't know. That's where I love to go. We went to this luau that it was on the north shore of Oahu, and all the other luaus are on like the south shore where Waikiki is. So to get there, you have to like drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But not a lot of people really go just because of how like far it is.
Right.
And there's not a lot of places to stay there. And this luau was in a valley that we actually visited like the day before. And we went swimming in one of the pools, and there's a waterfall. And when we went back, the whole valley was closed to visitors. It was just us in the luau with like local people, and we helped them crack open like coconuts, peel plantains, actually build like so their luau, what they did, they had like hot rocks, and then they put like the coconuts and plantains. They mixed in with some fish in the coconut water, and then they cover it with plantain leaves for like an hour. And then after we went back outside, we took it all apart, and then we were able to try it.
So cool.
But that's something that you may not experience in like, one of these bigger luau's that's
commercial
like
luau. Yeah.
commercial in front of Sheraton or something.
Yeah.
But that was really cool, and they like several. It was very engaging, very family-like. Actually, the people who owned that luau, the dad was hosting it. His daughters were dancing in it. His wife was assisting check in. Like everyone there, they're the same people that greeted us were the ones that served us food and drinks and put on a show for us.
That's so cool.
So I don't think we would have really gotten that experience if we went to one of the bigger luau's, closer to the city. I think that luau was very unique because of that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking right now, it's like, how would you find out about that secret little more local luau if you were a tourist going in? And like, there's so many different outlets that you can go on, like so many blogs, so many YouTubers. And like, I think that's the way to find out, just talking to people that have been there, and then they tell you where to go. Because if you go on Google, though, most of the commercial places will come up.
That's why I look a lot on Instagram, or I'll type in like Maui blogs or something like that, and then it'll show us what they put. Like we found a great breakfast place in Maui, and probably wouldn't have heard of it.
Do you guys use Pinterest?
Pinterest?
You do.
I do, but I didn't use it for this trip actually.
Oh wow.
I think I started. I was so focused on the wedding, I just
Yeah.
didn't. No, but I think I had like started to, like I might have saved like 2 or 3, like the Stairway to Heaven or something like that staircase that we didn't even end up doing.
Oh wow.
Really?
No, we didn't. We didn't do it, but we did do this other hike, and it reminded us of it because it had very steep stairs. Hold on, let's see if I can find the photo.
It was
That was the not pillbox. That was
Craterhead.
Craterhead.
Like it from like a satellite image, you could kind of see it. It's literally an old crater, but because of that location, there's like a whole rimmed wall, which is like the border of the crater that goes right along the shore. So it's like a natural break. So they set up a base in the center of the crater, like during like World War II, and then on top of the crater on the rim, they set up pillboxes, which are essentially like lookouts. And some of them are blended into the mountain. Like you could tell they like plastered it and made it look like rock. And then like there's these windows that are this big that they will look out into the Pacific. So that hike, we went up there, and
that is so cool.
That's pretty cool.
And how did you guys find that?
Right there, right there.
Well, this particular hike is actually one that you can see, like if you're staying in Waikiki and you look along the beach, you can see this like particular crater. So this is one of the more well-known hikes. We got there probably a little after 6 or 6:30,
and it was packed.
And it was already packed. There was people already coming down.
6 a.m.
Yeah. So by the time we got up there,
almost 7. Yeah.
By the time we got up there, it was packed. And when we were heading down, it was like really packed. And then it was like super narrow walkways.
Oh,
yeah. The tunnel, and I'm so claustrophobic.
The tunnel's like this wide, and you're coming like both directions. You can't see the light at the end.
The tunnel, like he's just in front of me. I'm like, I can't move. I'm like breathing like if I was like giving her like. No, it was funny. I was trying to find a picture of like the crater. I don't see.
Carlos said there's a Venezuelan rum that's also called
Cacique, yeah. I wonder if they're all like if each country, because now that I'm thinking about it, I think they did say that each country has like
their own
type
cacique.
of cacique.
Even Cuba has to have it. It's like white rum. No, I don't know. Something
I
like that.
don't know.
But it wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be.
That's okay.
It's okay.
That's what you think. It got to you.
And then I had to drive back the ATV.
So just talking about like our road trip, I got a new car today.
Oh, that's right. Congrats. That's awesome.
So finally, after like, I think I had
It was
that
over
car
10
for
years.
11 years or so. I just drove it to the dealership and I was able to get a good deal. And it's another Mazda. It's not because I had the Mazda 3 hatchback, and then I saw the newer Mazda 3 hatchback, and I was like, it feels small now, especially looking at some of the bigger cars. And I was like, I'm getting older. I'm gonna need more space and
For what? Why do you need more? For what?
family.
Babies.
So that was like a sign of adulting when I was at the car dealership. I was like, I could get this car that I like more, but I know that this one's going to be more accommodating.
Which one did you want?
Well, I really like the Mazda 3 hatchback,
Yeah.
but
Well,
same size as my car now. It looks really nice. But I was just looking at the space, and it's just not realistic. So I figured I'd invest in my future today and get a dad car.
Yeah.
Is Carlos still on?
I don't know. Like, babies. I said babies.
Babies. Yeah, I wish I could see who was on. On YouTube, it doesn't let you see who's watching really. I wish there was like more interaction on here. Like if I can click on whoever I want to come on.
On Instagram, how come you guys don't do Instagram Live anymore? Why did you move it to?
We want to grow our YouTube more. I want to grow the YouTube more than everything else I make. Every other social media platform we make, we want to funnel it to YouTube, and we want to be YouTube based, and then essentially grow the channel and get paid from AdSense, and eventually do brand deals, which would be pretty awesome.
You know how you asked, like, you thought like I was doing like Johnny's Reels, like who does more of what on the social media?
Kevin does everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He does it all. I just model.
Olivia's a talent.
Yeah. I thought both of you. I thought you were gonna be like half and half, but a lot of it is you.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Jack, your mom does it.
Your mom? Oh yeah, my mom's the marketing manager.
The marketing manager.
Not yet. Hopefully, I mean, we want to grow a team. So, from our channel, I've paid somebody to edit our videos twice. We've had 2 editors, technically 3 with our wedding teaser. But
which videos?
Yeah, the one of us doing
like the one like us reviewing our wedding.
The wedding review, looking back at our wedding, and and then the iguana one.
Oh yeah, I thought you did that one.
No. So
did you ever
pretty much
that video that I sent Olivia of I was doing the same thing but with like a rooster, and I was like, but nothing happened to me. She didn't take my
Good. I'm glad nothing happened to you because it ate my entire sandwich.
I mean, now when I record things, I'm like, man, I hope something crazy happens, so I have it on video.
Or the other day we were getting tested for COVID, and it was like we have to put a video together because it was my reaction was so pure, and he didn't catch. He's like, "Wait, can you do that again?" I'm like, "What?"
It's not the same.
He did like what? Like the testing?
Well, first the location, because it was in the parking lot of a church, and it was just like 2 tents.
It was on a basketball court.
It was like, it was on a basketball court, and it was just really weird. And I was like, there's no way this is it. And then they're like, oh, get down and like tell us what you need. I'm like, this is a drive-thru? I'm like, yes, I would like 2 COVID tests and a vanilla latte, please.
Some french fries outside.
I wish we could have somebody like filming us the whole time, like recording.
That's our main goal, so just have cameras following us all the time.
And I hate editing videos and like putting things together. Like it's very tedious work, and like it's very specialized, and I don't have the right program yet, and so it's hard for me to do all these things. And I have a full-time job. So,
do you need?
What?
What programs like do you need to?
So I don't even know, but I have Adobe, the one that you can use on Apple. Adobe Premiere, maybe Cut Pro. I don't know. One of those, and it's not working on the Dell that I have from work. And then my Apple laptop is like has too much memory. There's too much memory taken up. So I have to free some space. And that's the
Sounds
biggest
like
issue.
a lot of excuses, Kevin.
The biggest issue right now is where can I hold all my photos and access them easily? Because even when I go to make a reel, it takes the photos from the cloud and and it takes like 10 minutes to upload this one little clip that I'm probably going to erase anyway. And so, and then I'm struggling with like trying to post every day on Instagram Reels to try to grow it, so then I can funnel everybody to YouTube, and it's just a process that I think is going to take 3 to 5 years, and then just live off the channel. And we don't really care to get famous. I don't really care to get famous.
Yeah, I don't care. I just like
paying for our trips. That's it.
Well, yeah, and also I think to be able to look back at it and like show our kids like, hey, like this is what we did, and like obviously like eventually continue to do this like with our kids and travel with like and like showing like what it's like to travel with 3 to 5 kids.
That'll be awesome. I do want to get my goal though is to get like first. So right now we have 100 followers on YouTube, which is a milestone.
Yes, no, that's awesome.
The 3 digits, and then we're going for 1,000. Then it's 10,000. Then it's 100,000. Then it's 1 million, and then just exponential growth from there.
Yeah.
But I do want to get.
Love it. Well, it's like what I was telling Kevin when you were here in San Diego. I was like, I feel like what you guys are doing on Instagram, it's also like your journal entry. Like you guys are, you know, your content is like you guys telling us like your story or like yourself story, you know.
I feel like you guys are gonna do one soon. That's why I was asking who was doing the Breaking Bread with John.
We did it on Instagram, but nothing's on it yet.
Yeah, it's true.
We did it for fun, but nothing's on it. I forgot what it's called already.
Somebody called you?
No, I forgot what the Instagram was. We had created an Instagram account, but we didn't.
Oh,
we
for
didn't,
the 2 of you?
Yeah, like for fun. What is it called? 2 life lovers?
I love this.
I don't even remember the username. 2 life lovers. That's what I just put. Yeah.
I like it.
Nothing's on it, literally. Oh, it has 5 notifications. No wonder why.
But like this, you know, what you guys are doing is reflective of your lifestyle. So it's already like you guys haven't changed the way you've lived. You just decided to like document it. And, you know, when kind of set in our vows, like, you know, try to, you know, you want to remind each other or like keep that fire alive of why you guys fell in love. Mm-hmm. And like you guys, both of you love to travel and do all this stuff. And if you like stop that, I think that would really like put a big wedge between you two because, you know, you guys like just love to do that. It's a huge part of who you are. So almost
it's motivating.
Yeah. So by doing this and documenting it, you almost like keep yourself accountable. Where you're like, we have this Instagram and we have this YouTube and we have all this stuff to post. Yeah. And it's like, let's go travel. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
You're looking back at what you're posting and you're like, oh wait, we can still post what we did here and here and here. And like, it's also motivating you to like, oh, I want to travel some more.
And
like,
it was honestly hard. Like because we started this a little bit before we went on our honeymoon. And I was kind of torn. I'm like, I want to like be present, and I don't want to make this trip all about like getting content or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, it would have been such a waste if we didn't get that content because we did so many amazing things. And the purpose of this is, and it's also because like when we're traveling, like we go on YouTube or whatever to see what people do and like what it looks like, you know, not from like a magazine's point of view, because when you look places up, it's like, oh, it didn't really look like that in real life. Like we want to give it like, this is what it's really like when we went to Manuel Antonio, like it's not the coolest place to go to and it wasn't the most welcoming. So like I just like be real, like this is how it really was. Like it's not all like sprinkles and butterflies, but I did have a hard time because sometimes I was like, I just want to be in the moment, but I knew that we had to do that also for like our memory, like to have all these videos because and everything's on Kevin's phone. Like I barely took things because he had just gotten a brand new phone. I know because all his stuff was like on the new camera.
I have an 8 plus. Like it's a really old phone.
Yeah, that's how I recorded everything on the new phone. So I did make the YouTube channel and everything before we left on the trip, and so branding is kind of hard, right? Like coming up with a name like Two Life Lovers and stuff like that. It could be Olivia and Kevin and like O and K, right? But I see this going into having our family and all that, and being more than just us two. And so using our last name, like the Quintanas, we could use it for.
We already have a neon sign.
And like I follow a lot of YouTubers, and what happens after a while is that they get burnt out, right? And from meeting these people in real life and seeing what they do on camera, it's like they have this character that they have to be every time they're on camera, and that gets exhausting, right? That's tiring. Like there's a lot of expectations.
It's exhausting if you're not being yourself on camera.
Exactly.
If you're being yourself on camera, then it shouldn't be exhausting because it's like I'm being myself.
You're
like
yourself.
That's where they get burnt out, is because they're not being their true selves.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or, I mean, but it is a lot of work. Like it's not just like recording and then posting on YouTube. Like it's a lot of editing. Like it takes a lot of work to do. So it could be both. Like,
Oh, I was saying like I guess
side.
like the burnt out side, the work itself is obviously a lot of work, but I meant like you were saying like they have to act a certain way if they're in public or whatever. Yeah. But if whoever meets you in person that hasn't met you in person yet, you guys are gonna be exactly how you are.
Yeah.
In your videos.
That's all I really hope. I always tell people that I hope I'm as cool in real life as I look on Instagram, or I hope I am what I look like on Instagram.
Or better.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word cool, but like the same. But yeah, I just want to grow the channel a lot. Like some days I want to live stream, and Olivia's like, "Why?" And like it does seem like work sometimes.
It is work. It's like I don't want to do that. But
you guys chose a day and you chose a time, so it's kind of like it's in your schedule, right?
Yeah. Every Tuesday we'll do this live stream. We know about that. So.
Yeah.
And it's okay to skip every now and then. It's okay.
And Olivia started a Live Love Wellness channel.
Yes, I started another channel for my yoga.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, I had another question. Yes. Okay. Finish.
Yes.
Wait, finish.
Oh no, that was it. It's a work in progress.
This show brought to you by Oreo Minis. This is our commercial.
Yes, please. This is our. Oh, I'm hungry now, actually. Wait, what was my question?
About yoga?
Okay, yeah. What if like next Tuesday you teach a live yoga class, or not next Tuesday, like whenever. But I missed doing yoga. I feel like I haven't done yoga a lot.
We were supposed to do that today.
I was like,
well, so I was on my way. I left the house to go do yoga, but with everything that's going on in Cuba right now, like the people here in Miami are also taking to the streets and protesting, which is beautiful. But I didn't make it.
The cops are shutting down the streets.
Like they're on the highway. It's crazy. But like the cops are like protecting them. Like they're not like I don't know. It's pretty cool because this has never happened before. Like the people in Cuba are finally like we're tired of this. We want to be treated like human beings that we are. So, anyways, this is not a political thing, but it's just a human love thing for our motherland.
Yeah.
Because you guys are cute. So would you do that though? The yoga live stream?
Yeah.
You should pick a day and do the yoga and do the live stream yoga, and then it automatically uploads to the YouTube channel, so you don't have to do anything. You could edit if you want, but just put it.
Are you thinking of doing live streams like in public? Is that something you've thought about? Like instead of it being like in your place, like I don't know if you'll do it like through Instagram or something, but where you're like walking around, or I don't know if you do that already.
I guess that's like Instagram Live.
That's interesting. So
or like recording, or like you go out with an intention and you bring these questions to the street. Like you talk to like local Miamians or wherever you're traveling. You do a live session, but like in person, and then you record all that, and then you upload it into like a video.
That's cool.
So what's difficult with the live streaming not at your place is that you don't have good Wi-Fi signal, and it's already hard as it is inside. But for the last 2 days, I have been thinking about. Right now, we only have a few subscribers on YouTube, so maybe to like invite them, like to hang out with us and just like have a day with us and like start that community, right? And just like it's not even about us; it's just about getting together and like doing this. It sounds weird, but it's like a daybreaker.
Yeah, isn't there a YouTuber that you follow and you shared this like video with me that it was actually more like phone calls. He would like call a random number.
I think you probably follow the group Yes Theory.
Yes Theory, yeah.
Have you seen their videos?
Yeah.
I feel like you would love
having people like seek discomfort. So they'll like go up to people on the street, they'll ask them questions, and like they're pretty uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but it's like, hey, do you want to go skydiving?
Yeah,
like,
I love that one. Sure. I would do something like that. Like I want to do that video. That's the one I saw and I want to do it.
Wait, so in the video that I saw, he like just called a bunch of random numbers until someone picked up or said yes, and he would ask them like, hey, do you want to spend the day with me? Like, you know, just like hanging out. I just want to spread kindness and get to know you. Like we're people, you know, we're human. Like let's get to know each other. And she's like, yeah, let me go ask my husband. And then she asked her husband. He said yes. I think they had like a newborn baby. They had like 2 kids.
Yeah.
He was welcome to their house. Their baby. Like they like had spend the day together. I forgot what they ended up doing. Like, did they go to the zoo? I don't know what they did. And then she said like every day or once a week, she would make sandwiches and like in the evening go out and pass them out to homeless people. It was really nice, and it was just like so touching. And he was like, wow, like thank you for saying yes. Like I wouldn't have known this about you.
So the Mr. Beast channel is more of something that I would want to do in the sense where just gets like all the money that he gets from YouTube and gives it back.
Like I've been in tears watching his videos, and they're funny. Like it's not like a sad thing. Yeah. But just like he uses the money that he gets, and he like, for example, he bought like a dog shelter, and he basically like he paid for all these billboards, all these things for like, and he had a goal. He's like, we're gonna get all these dogs adopted. I'm like,
yeah.
And then he would give
and then he would give them like $1,000 check or $10,000 worth of this or a year supply of food and like all these things. I'm like, I feel like that's what we want to do. Like we want to be able to help people, and yeah, there's a lot that you can do like just by volunteering, but a lot of things really come down to people needing money to do these things. Like people need money to send to other countries. People need money to build houses. Like you need money at some point. Like your hands could only take you so far, and like I feel like that would be our biggest goal. To be able to
philanthropic aspect of it. And I won't ever promote that. I won't ever use that word. But that's what I want to do, right? Like just give back in a situation like this in Cuba. Like send a bunch of food and supplies to Cuba when people need it. Right now I don't. But with the 100 subscribers that we have, I want to do a giveaway of like 100 of something. Make it valuable, make it cool, maybe funny. And so I'm like, what do I do now? I don't know, because I haven't got any money yet.
And you're also not that funny. Just kidding.
I'm not that funny.
Didn't you want to do $100? Like $100? Or that's a lot, I guess.
Like Mr. Beast gave somebody 100 cookies.
I want that. No, I think he gave him like 1,000 cookies.
He did it for every single one, and then at one point he started giving money.
I'll take 1,000 cookies.
Wait, okay, so it'd be cool to join them. Let's join them somewhere, wherever they're at on the road trip.
Oh yeah, let us know where you're at.
We'll give you our itinerary.
Want to sponsor our flights over there.
We'll give you our itinerary. Hold on, Alex called. One moment, please.
She's leaving.
What if we show them your bread? Weren't you gonna do stuff?
Yeah, Johnny. Mom asked. Tell Johnny to show us the bread process.
Who was that?
Mom.
Who was that?
But that was like so long ago.
I don't know.
Guys, it's almost been an hour. It's like we're on a double date.
I know.
I love this.
I got really excited and I asked Kevin like how I joked with you guys. I'm like, oh, the 4 of us should live together. I would really love for the 4 of us to live together. But also, you guys haven't lived alone as husband and wife, so
Sure
I
did.
guess I'll give you that time for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great goal of ours. Like I was being super serious about it too. Maybe
About
it could
living
be something-
together?
Well, yeah, like starting that Airbnb if it's an Airbnb or Verbo or whatever. Wait, you disappeared.
I know.
Oh,
It's not about us.
So,
wait, are they there?
are you guys there? Can you hear us?
We moved locations and they disappear.
What happened? I don't know if you guys still hear me, but I'm just gonna continue.
Wait, see if let me call them so they can see it.
Wait,
Guys, we're here.
Wait, are you
Oh.
talking
Oh,
about?
we hear you now.
you.
We couldn't see or hear you.
I was
Oh,
like,
you couldn't
couldn't
hear
hear
us.
No, we
you guys
couldn't.
disappeared.
Oh.
I almost told you, but you're here.
So this is a daily routine. I probably should have fed him like an hour ago when we started this call because
What?
he's dropped a lot, or it basically ran out of food, so it's starting to like self-destruct on itself, and it's just hungry. So it's just a lot of gases there's like no more gases that are being released in this process, so it's starting to like degas. So I know this should weigh like 1,000 grams total, and then I'll take it down to 850 grams, which would leave 75 grams of the starter that's in there. So you always want to keep a little bit of like the mother starter, the original one, in the jar, just to keep it alive. So then I will. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Pretty gooey. It's like pretty fibrous too, and those are kind of like young gluten strands that are essentially.
Smell?
Yeah. It has like a very almost like sweet smell, but also you also get smells of like vinegar as well. I don't know why this is not.
So by the way, the reel that I made for today, like announcing our live stream, got 2,700 views on reels, and it's
Ooh.
stuff like that I try to get more views on the other reels that I put time and effort, and this one I made in like 10 seconds, and it got more views, but whatever.
Yeah, it's an algorithm
It's the
that like I don't think a lot of
algorithm,
people understand how it works, because sometimes I'll like post something and same thing, I'll get like 3,000.
Excuse me, we're on a call.
Wait, excuse me. Hold on.
How do I get back?
Hold on.
You're there.
Hold on. I'm
Fix it.
gonna help. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Let's see.
We can
It's
still
so
see you.
funny because we can see and hear you guys.
So look at your shirt.
Oh.
I like your shirt. It's like the seek discomfort one, but it's gratitude. So we want to make sure it's like this too, you know?
Oh,
she
yeah.
hung up on me.
Anyways,
Gratitude.
oh yeah, so like yeah, the whole like reel thing. Sometimes you get like 3,000 views. Other times you get like 5 views, and it's like how is this being like put into the universe?
Yeah.
It's based off of how you're feeling. Is it like a mood ring? Like I don't know.
Olivia got
You're feeling good, you're gonna get a lot of
17,000.
views.
Olivia got 17,000 views on a reel of her and Chief
It's
on her main page. So it wasn't
It's
even.
okay.
I'm like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
trying over here, and you got 17,000 views.
Okay, wait, I'm very interested. So then what
Okay,
happened?
so I took out the majority of Aspen. We'll just say Aspen. I took it out. I left 75 grams in, and what I'm gonna do is add 75 grams flour. And this is a mix. This is like 20% whole wheat and like 80% all-purpose flour. And then I'll add 75 grams of water. So this is gonna be considered like 100% hydration, and that's the hydration that I want in my starter for the bread that I make. So basically, in 12 hours, let's say tomorrow morning, this is going to be pretty much at its peak, and you want to catch it like right before it drops. So it's like here right now. It's going to rise and maybe get up to here. And then right before it drops, that's when it's like ready to use. That's like the most ideal time to use it. because it's like used all of its resources, like almost all of its resources, and then I'll take some of
Before, like,
that
it deflates?
action. Huh?
Before it deflates.
Yeah. So you want a very active starter for when you're making sourdough bread. So that's why you kind of use it as a gauge. And like by me monitoring it, I know that okay, at 12 hours it's going to be at its peak. If I wait 1 extra hour, it's probably going to start to drop, and I can still make bread out of it, but it may not be like as good. At that point, it may get maybe a little too sour.
Damn.
Because it's releasing like 2 different kinds of acids during this process. One that you get like more like a sweet taste. That's more like you may get like more milk and butter flavors out of it, and then one that's releasing like a vinegary, like sour taste. So if you let it ferment almost too long, you can get more of those kind of sour tastes, versus if you kind of get it at the right time, you can get some sweeter taste. But that's also reflective on like what it is you're actually feeding it. So this is just 75 grams.
So if you made it, and like when do you count the 12 hours? Like once you seal it, or?
Yeah, so this, like, I'm gonna be done doing this, now, essentially. And this is I have this on a scale, so when I put into this, I know exactly
What
how
you're
much.
putting, yeah.
Yeah. So put 75 grams.
So if you started it at 5 o'clock at night, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to catch it.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, and a lot of these you can time it so that if I did this at 7 or 8, because I know I want to be baking at around 7 or 8 a.m., then I'll do that. So I'll just mix it until it's fully incorporated. And another thing to take into consideration with like sourdough and like these starters is, depending on the time of the year, it's going to ferment faster or slower. So if it's warmer, it's a lot more active. So it's going to ferment a lot faster, and you may need to feed it 3 times a day versus 2 times a day. When it's colder, you can feed it less.
That's funny.
If I wanted to tomorrow morning, I can get up at 5 and start the process of making a sourdough bread.
And if you didn't want to use the bread, right? Like if you didn't want to make bread at 5 in the morning, how do you like preserve that?
So what I would do, let's say I didn't want to make bread tomorrow, and I don't want to feed it either, because I can also wake up tomorrow and just feed it, even if it's at 7 or 8, and it'll probably be fine. If I'm not using it, I either have to continue to feed it, or like let's say I was going away for like a week, I would do exactly what I just did. Wait for it to like activate a little bit, and you'll see it grow, and then I'll put it in the fridge, and that should be good. And then when I get back, I'll just need to feed it probably 1 to 3 times before it's ready to make a bread.
Wow.
Cool.
So yeah, and then this is like what's known as discard. So this is what I took out of this. And this is what I would use to make like sourdough pretzels and biscuits, or a lot of different things you can make with discard. And the reason they call it discard is because it's what you're throwing away out of your main starter. It wouldn't necessarily be considered discard like tomorrow morning. If I use some, I would be using it active. This is what's known as a levain, or levain. So I could potentially use this in the morning. But tomorrow, I think I'm going to the farm in the morning, so
that's so cool.
Probably not going to be baking.
Your house must smell so good all the time.
It does.
No, it does.
This is a zucchini bread.
Hi.
That looks so good.
And honestly, you can't really taste the zucchini, which is good because you could trick your kids. Like, yeah.
You know what I saw today? A square croissant. So like it kind of looks similar to that, but it was like with the croissant crust, whatever it
Never
was.
seen that.
But you've never seen that? Yeah, I was
I've seen that.
I've never seen that. Damn it!
Square croissant?
It's like a
Kevin with like
croissant.
chocolate chips in it.
Oh, I'm an
good.
uncultured swine.
So good. What'd you say?
I'm an uncultured swine.
So do you guys not have COVID anymore?
No.
Did it just go away in like 3 days? 4 days?
So,
I think Kevin.
How do you think you got it?
Honestly.
we went out to party in the Keys on Saturday night.
But you're the only person that got it, and there were 5.
Yeah, and you didn't get it, Olivia. Like that would have been.
Whatever,
I think I got it.
And then Tuesday I had symptoms, and then I was like, whatever, seems like a cold. Then it didn't go away the next day, and then I went and got tested Thursday. I got my results on Saturday. I stayed home, like I didn't go anywhere, and then it was positive. That same Saturday I got tested again, and then I got my results Monday, and I was negative. So I don't know.
There you go. It is what it is.
So I was positive on Tuesday, but then negative on
Monday.
on
Monday.
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Thursday you got tested, not Tuesday.
Did you guys quarantine? Olivia, did you have to quarantine for work too? Like, oh, I'm exposed.
No, I went to work all last week, and then when Kevin got his results on Saturday morning, I was like, oops. So, but I felt perfectly fine, and so I got tested on Saturday. Then I told my boss, I'm like, look, I still haven't gotten my results. I feel fine, but as a courtesy, like I think, like now that I know that my husband had it, like the right thing to do would be to like at least wait to get my results. And because it was negative, they're like, okay, come back.
Yeah. I would have been like, I still don't have it. Sorry. I still don't have it.
I know.
I told her, stay home with me. Would have been the perfect time, but she wanted to go to work.
I didn't.
Do you still say like husband, like my husband? Like I'm like my husband.
I'm trying to like normalize it, and it's so like I try like at work. I'm like, oh yeah, my husband. Da, 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 da. And in my head, I keep talking, and I'm like, oh my god, I just said that. And people, you're too young to have a husband. I'm like, I'm really not though.
Yeah. I still get it. Like, how old are you? I'm like 28. They're like, what? Like they're shocked. I'm like,
Yeah.
how old? They think I'm still like 18.
Same. I know they're like,
forever young.
Age. I'm like, ooh.
Forever young. Guys, is no one? How do we know if anyone's viewing?
There's 3 people viewing right now.
Oh, hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrea.
My sister-in-law.
And that's my husband, Johnny. Olivia's brother.
Jen.
Yes.
So this has been a nice live stream with Breaking Bread with Johnny and Andrea of We Are Andrex.
Yes.
They'll be moving to Florida soon.
Yes. Maybe we'll do one in person together.
Yeah. And then, next Tuesday we'll do another live stream. Stay tuned for our next guest.
Think of the yoga live stream.
I will.
You need to pick a day for that. And just do it.
I know.
And I hope our channel grows. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time.
This was fun. Maybe we could do it with you guys again next Tuesday.
I know.
Okay. Whenever, okay? We love you guys.
Come
on.
They'll be
I
here
can't
soon,
wait to
right?
go to be in person and go on dates together and have fun together and be like, what are you doing today? And then,
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
We love you.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, we'll have our own farm soon.
all the secrets out.
Nobody will see this.
Teaser.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. Johnny, mom goes, they're not going to find out.
They won't find out.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.